chapter 12, new chapter. We'll take lesson 1 and 2. Okay? You brought your book? Are you ready? The chapter is using modifiers. Using modifiers. Chapter 12, using modifiers. First lesson is forming degrees of comparison. Forming, I'll share it now. Forming degrees of comparison, okay? Okay. What is forming degrees of comparison? We know that we have adjective. An adjective is when I modify someone or something. So I say he is tall, she is thin, okay? He is smart, she is nice. These are adjectives, smart, thin adjectives. What if I want to compare a girl to her sister? Compare a girl to her sister. So they are two. So I say she is shorter than her sister. She is shorter than her sister. She is shorter than her sister. Between two, I have than. What if they are 5 sisters and we want to compare or want to say that she is the taller than them? No. She is the tallest of her sisters. So if they are 2, I say taller than. If she is 1 among the class or among her sisters more than 2, so she will be the tallest. This is tall, taller, tallest. Comparative and superlative, which comparative between two people, I compare between two people, two things. Superlative, one among many. So if I say here, I have Jem and Tom. So I say Tom's house is bigger than Jem's house. Tom's is bigger than Jem's because they are 2. But if I talk about Dan, I'll say, but Dan is the biggest house. Dan has the biggest house or the most impressive house. Okay, so here between 2 stuff, I say than. Comparative, than. Comparative, there should be than. Superlative, there should be the. Difficult, if I compare between 2 things, it will be more difficult. If I compare between 3 things, it will be the most difficult. One syllable modifier. One syllable modifier, an adjective formed of 1 syllable. What is 1 syllable? A syllable word is a word that I do not change the opening of my mouth. I open it once, big, thin, fat. I open the vowel of the round of my mouth. I don't change it. It is 1 syllable modifier. So if 1 syllable, it is big. So I can add ER. Okay? I can add ER. It will be bigger. So, and it's easy to understand. You'll understand that this is bigger than this. The only case I want to say that if 1 syllable adjective ends with a single consonant, and there is a vowel before it, you double it. And it's not written in your book, but I prefer to say it to you. That like big, thin, fat, there is a vowel between the last letters, so we double it. Well, that's why we find it bigger, thinner, fatter, not thinner with 1 N, because there is a vowel before the last letter. So big will be bigger between 2 stuff. So my pencil case is bigger than your pencil case. My pencil case is the biggest pencil case in the whole class. My dog is bigger than your dog. My dog is the biggest of all dogs in the neighborhood. Max is thinner than John. Of all the students in the class, Max is the thinnest. My mother is fatter than your mother. Mary is the fattest person I've ever seen. Comparative between 2 stuff, superlative between more than 2 stuff. What if I have a 2 syllable modifier? A word ends like eager. Okay. Basically, 2 syllable modifiers end with ER or EST. ER or EST, two syllable modifiers. In case it sounds clumsy, like eager, I cannot say eagerer. I cannot say eagerer, right? So eager will be more eager. So here when here, eager, I can add ER. Okay, I can't say eagerer, so it will be more eager. So when I have one syllable modifier, I add ER or EST. When I have two syllable modifiers, I add ER or EST. Or if the word sounds clumsy, if the word sounds like, what is this? So I have to add more or EST, like the more than two syllable modifiers, like in this case. What if I have more than two syllables modifiers? So like what? Like the word peaceful. Look at my mouth. Peaceful. So I changed the vowel, the opening of my mouth. It means more than one syllable. Please and careful. So when I say my country is peacefuler than your country, can I say this trip was pleasanter, more pleasanter than the carefuler, thoughtfuler? We cannot say that. So if I using comparatives, this morning is more peaceful than yesterday morning. Mac's house is the mountains is the most peaceful. Max is more cheerful than Mike. Jack is the most careful of all the taxi drivers. Jill is more thoughtful. Mary is the most thoughtful. So when I want to say more to compare between two stuff, it is like the word expensive. Can I say expensiver? Deliciouser? I can't. So when I find a long word that has more than two syllables, I add more or the most. More when I compare between two stuff, most when I compare more than two stuff. Okay, so here in the modifiers, in the adjectives, okay, in the modifiers, I have three cases: one syllable, ER-EST, two syllable, ER-EST, or if it is clumsy, more or most. More than two syllable, more or most. Then we go to adverbs end in ly. What if I want to compare between adverbs? We know that the most of or 90% of adverbs, they end in ly. How can I form it? He talks or walks carefully than his brother. He walks carefully? No, he walks more carefully than his brother. He walks, he talks slowly? No, he talks more slowly than his brother. He is the most carefully smart person in the world. So here, carefully smart, carefully is an adverb. He is the most slowly dancer, or no, the most slowly. Here, because I want it as an adverb, the most slowly talking in the world. Okay, it means he talks slowly. So when I find an adverb ends in ly, I add more or the most. More between two stuff, the most between more than two. Not all the words in ly are adverbs, and we took this at the beginning of the year, like the word ugly. Ugly is an adjective. Ugly is an adjective. It ends in ly, but it is an adjective. Uglier. He is the ugliest among the class. So be aware only of the case that sometimes the words end in ly, but they are not adverbs, they are adjectives. Then the last thing for this lesson, okay, when I say that my brother, okay, or I am taller than my brother. What if I want to start the sentence with my brother? I am taller than my brother. My brother is what? Is less. So this is decreasing. degree of comparison. So if I say my sharpener, or my knife is sharp, this is positive. My knife is less sharp than yours. I cannot say less sharper, huh? Is less sharp than yours, than your knife. My knife is the least sharp knife in the kitchen. My shirt is costly. My shirt is less costly than your shirt. My shirt is the least costly among all of my brother's shirts. Okay? I visit my grandmother often. I visit my grandmother less often than my brother visits her. I less often visit my grandmother among of my own brothers. Okay? The last point, there are irregular degrees of comparison. So if I want to say, you're a bad boy, you are badder than your brother. No. You are worse than your brother. You are a bad boy. You are worse than your brother. Actually, you are the worst of all. What a far place. This school is farther than my old school. This school is the farthest school in the world. Good. He is a good girl. She's a good girl. She's better than her sister. She's the best of her sisters. I feel ill today. I feel worse than yesterday. Today was the worst day of my life. So was the worst day of my life. I compare a day to the rest days of my life. So I take worst. Okay, late, later, latest, less, lesser, least, in decreasing comparison. Little, less, least, many, more, most. I have more children than you have. Okay, I love you more than you love me. I love you so much. I love you more than you love me. I love you the most of my old brother's mother. If I talk to my mother, I love you the most. So step by step, analyzing to form the comparative. If it's one syllable, E-R-E-S-T. Two syllables, as you want, if E-R-E-S-T, or if it looks clumsy, add more or most. Ly adverbs, more and most. And then the irregular degrees of comparison. Okay? Okay, let's open the page 224. Are you here?
Yes, miss.
Okay, I'll start by Asma.
Yes.
Yes, Asma number one. Yes.
Valuable, most and more.
Yes, you tell me on a separate piece of paper, write the comparative and superlative forms of each modifier. Valuable will be what?
More valuable or most valuable.
Yes, more valuable or the most valuable. Excellent. Okay, Balkis. Balkis. Bayan. Taina.
Yes, miss.
Yes, number two. Hopeful.
Most hopeful
More
and more
hopeful. Yes. Number three. Dalia.
Yes, miss.
Reasonable.
Most reasonable. Common.
Yes. Reasonable. More reasonable. Most reasonable. Yes. Number four. Dareen.
Yes, miss. More lively or most lively.
Yes. More lively or most lively. Number five. Durra.
It's gonna be more dimly and most
Yes, more and most. Number 6, Fatima.
Will be more poor and most.
Are you sure? Poor?
No. Can't be.
So you'll add what? You'll add what, dear?
Miss,
Poor?
how can I say
It will be
poorest?
poor or poorest. Yes, excellent, Fatima. Ghada? Awkward?
Yes, miss. More awkward and most awkward.
Excellent. Jana? Clean?
Cleaner and cleanest.
Excellent. Joanna? Jude?
Yes, miss. More or most quiet.
Quiet? More quiet? Quieter?
Oh, yes, quieter. Yes.
Yes. Jumana?
More visible, most visible.
Excellent. More visible, most visible. Kadra, exercise number 2. Kadra? Kadra's not here. Lana Meher?
Yes, miss.
Yes, Lana?
Do I read number 1?
Yes, please. If there is any mistake in the sentence, fix it.
Okay. Is there a roller coaster the most frighteningest of all rides in the amusement parks?
Is it the most frighteningest? Have you ever heard about
No,
frightening? Frightening is causing you to fear. Huh?
most frightening?
Frighteningness? Frightening, yes. Most. It's so, instead of frighteningness, we remove est because the word is tool. I cannot say expensivest,
Yes.
beautifulest. So we say most beautiful, most frightening. Okay, Layan Fadl. Thank you, Lana.
Yes, Miss. Designers
Layan.
try their most. Designers try their most hardest to make it that way. We're gonna remove most because hardest can go with est.
Excellent. Number 3, Layan Maghrabi. 4, yeah, Layan.
Fourth, correct. They maximize
Yes.
speed.
4. No.
No,
4.
3. They
3 is
build.
correct. That's why I told you to move to 4. Yes.
They maximize speed. It's correct.
Ah, 5. Go to 5, dear.
As a result, people will often name the roller coaster as the bestest or the most worst. It's going to be the best and the worst without
Yes.
most.
Yes. Bestest, it will be the best. And we remove most because it is worst. Excellent, Layan. Lina Ammar. Lina Ammar. Lilian.
Some of today's therapists are reaching out to those who say the roller coaster is the more terrifying experience possible in the universe. It's more, we take out, or terrifying.
We take out more and we replace it by what? Here, some, yes, excellent, because it is one of those, one of many, so it is most. Excellent, dear. Lina Ayad.
Yes, miss.
Yes, Lina
Those
Ayad. Number
those
7.
with experience lesser stressful. It's correct?
Lesser stressful?
No,
Less,
less
less,
stressful.
excellent. Less stressful. Excellent, dear. Okay. Lujain? 8.
Atmospheres like before it in 7.
What
Those with
7?
the most deepest of fears.
Oh, we answered it.
Oh, you said to eliminate. Oh.
7, we removed
The E from lesser.
most.
Okay. So we, okay.
Lujain 8.
Miss, before you move to 8, Miss, in number 7, lesser stressful, they wrote in the previous page it can be less or lesser. So, is correct?
But here, no, lesser is lesser alone. And this book, this amount of sugar is lesser than yours.
Yes.
But this is less lesser.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you.
Welcome. We are in 8.
Yes, miss.
Yes, 8, Lujain.
Researchers note that these fears come from the most likeliest sources. I remove most.
Excellent. Remove most. Malak Wasim. Najwa.
Yes, miss.
Here
The
in
fear,
Malak.
the fear that is sometimes the most easiest to deal with isn't the fear of accidents. Do we remove most and keep easiest?
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. We move most and keep easiest because it can fit with EST. Najwa.
Miss, I'm sorry, in the sentence before, we have even worse experience in childhood.
Yes. So it is in line.
It's
In number 8. Yes. We have also even worse. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I
So
I
make it
remove
even worse.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So Najwa, you answered 10, right?
I answered 10.
Answer.
It's correct. Then now the safest things anyone can do.
Yes, it will be safest. Here, even it's in the slide, safe, safer, safest. Excellent, dear. Okay, then we move to the next lesson, and next lesson is very easy. There is nothing in the next lesson. In the next lesson, he says to you, here, using the degrees of comparison. He's to you when it's comparative, to compare between two things. Superlative, to compare between more than two things. Avoid double comparison. In this, you have to be aware of it and avoid it. Double comparison, when I add ER and I add more, and I add EST or I add most to form a degree of comparison. My phone is smaller than your phone. My phone is more smaller than your phone. No, either to pick more or either to pick ER. Either to add more or ER. So here, because it's small, I can add ER. That is the most beautifulest. It is like the exercise of just sort. So whether to use most or to add EST. But here, because it is a long word, beautiful, and more than 2-syllable words, so I cannot add EST, so I add most. Okay? So here he says to you some adjectives such as excellent, perfect, faultless, flawless, ideal, okay? Unique, do not comparative or superlative forms. These are absolute adjectives. They are already the most they can be. What does it mean? When I say my shirt is unique, can I say my shirt is more unique than your shirt? No, because unique is one adjective which is called absolute adjective. Absolute adjective means it cannot be better than this. It is unique. You cannot find it. Flawless. What if I say perfect? Perfect. Look at my eyeglasses. They are perfect. Can I say my eyeglasses are more perfect than your eyeglasses? No, we say just perfect. So we have perfect, excellent, faultless, flawless, ideal, immaculate, unique. We do not compare them. Do you find it, girls? Can you please highlight it? Can you please highlight it? So if something is flawless, wow, look at her skin. Her skin is flawless. I cannot say her skin is more flawless than mine. No, it is an adjective that cannot be in a comparative case or in a superlative case. Okay, one of a kind. If it's unique, I can't say it's most unique because it is the meaning of unique is one of a kind. I cannot say most unique. Okay, so her description of the event was flawless. She made it clear that the movement was unique. I can't add it. I can't say it is more unique or most unique. So perfect, flawless, excellent, flawless, ideal, immaculate, unique. We cannot compare or we cannot use the comparative degree or superlative degree in these words. You highlighted them, girls?
Yes.
Shall we solve? Continue? We stopped at Natalie. Number 1, Natalie, exercise 4.
Yes.
Natalie?
Yes, miss, can you hear me?
Yes.
More quicker.
More quicker. So I add more and I add ER. Double comparison.
LY, quickly.
More quickly. Number 2, note.
Return to yes, miss.
Yes.
Read it.
Hmm?
Read it.
Number 2, speedier. Yes. Excellent note. Number 3, Noor Bilal.
Yes, miss. Is the greyhound the fastest of all dogs?
Excellent. Noor Abdul Kareem.
The cab hunting dog is actually swifter than the greyhound.
Excellent. Rama, 5. Rima, 5. Rima.
Yes, miss. Of all animals, which lives longest, sorry.
Longest because it's of all animals. Excellent. Number 6, Sarah.
But the average life of an elephant is long, but that of a hippopotamus is longer.
Longer. Excellent. Number 7, Dana Wael. Dana Wael. Dana Shaheen. Dana Shaheen. رغد. رغد. زينة. أسماء.
Yes, miss. It's largest.
We are in number 7, largest. Excellent, يا أسماء. 8, بثينة.
Yes, miss. Fewer.
Fewer. Excellent. 9, Dalia.
Shorter.
Shorter. 5. Excellent. Shorter. 10, Dareen.
Biggest.
Excellent. Biggest. Durra, 11. The next exercise.
Yes. I can find facts more quickly in an almanac than I can on the internet. It's correct, right?
Yes, it is
More
correct.
quickly.
Yes, excellent. Fatima, 2. Fatima, 2. غادة, 2.
Yes, miss.
Yes, غادة.
My almanac is the usefulest reference book I own. Usefulest is not correct.
Change it.
More useful. Most useful.
Excellent. Most useful because SEST. Excellent. Number 3. Jana. Read it, Jana.
It's for fast facts. It is more better than an
Encyclopedia.
encyclopedia. It is better.
Excellent. It is better. Number 4, Joanna. Jude. Joanna's not here. Jude.
Yes, miss. On just one page, for example, it lists the lowest point, more, deep lake, and most rainiest spot in the United States. Remove most.
Remove most and make it what?
Deepest.
Deepest. Excellent. And there is another one in the sentence. Most rainiest. I remove what?
Most also, I guess. Yes.
Most. Yes, we remove most. Excellent. Joanna. 5.
It records the highest bridge in the United States, to the Royal George Bridge in Colorado.
Yes, excellent. Number 6, Lana.
Yes, miss. Did you know that Kalao, Hawaii is the most smallest county in the country? Do we move most?
Excellent, because it will be only smallest. Yes, after Lana, Diane Fadl.
Yes, miss. The almanac even lists the deepest well, which is in Washita Country, Oklahoma. It's correct?
Yes, it is correct. Excellent. 8, Diane Maghrabi.
Buying an almanac is the best thing you can do. It's the best.
Excellent, the best. Liliane.
An almanac gives you the larger number of facts for the fewest amount of money. It's
Yes.
correct?
An almanac gives you the larger number of facts. It is one among the rest.
The large?
So, largest.
Largest.
Largest number of facts for what?
For fewer?
We said few in decreasing comparison. Few will be what?
Less?
Yes, but here because it's one among many.
Less, fewer,
Least.
amount.
Yes, dear, it will be least. Yes. So least. Number 10, Lean, Ammar. Linayat, sorry, Linayat.
It is the better investment of all the books you can buy. It's correct.
Better investment of all books. And it is one book among many. It will be what? Good. Good will be what? Better? Best. Right?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Go to page 225. The editing tip. Editing tip. Read it, Lujain.
Which page, miss?
225. It is in the books.
The editing tip. Sometimes writers and speakers use the word less when they should be using fewer. This line is for 10 or less items, fewer. I'm eating fewer calories than I used to. A child eats less food than an adult. Use fewer before nouns that can be counted and less before nouns that represent the volume or mass of something.
Yes, so when I want to talk about I have fewer amount than yours, so I talk about sugar. So I say what I take fewer sugar, but it is fewer is for countable. I take fewer books than my brother takes. When we go to school, I carry fewer, okay, fewer than he carries. I carry fewer books then he carries. Again, I carry fewer books. I carry fewer books than my brother carries. My brother carries fewer books, no, less books. Less books as here, decrease in comparison. Less. So you understand the difference between fewer and less?
Yes, miss.
Again. I carry fewer books than my brother. My brother carries less books than me. I carry. Understand?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Then he says to you, the test taking tip, be alert for standardized test items in which the word more or most is used with a modifier, as we said. It is an easy lesson, right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. The period has finished, and I see you next week.
Bye, miss. Have a nice
Do you
weekend.
want anything? Do you want to ask about anything?
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you.